There are many other people. I mean, Pearl Shongwe, for example. Pearl Shongwe, the late. I met her on my radio show. I was running a talent search competition on the show where I wanted to find somebody to do like an entertainment segment on one of my radio shows on YFM. And she submitted a demo like many other people, and she basically won the competition to come onto the show. I mean, we're talking about getting somebody like sort of raw as talent and then bringing them onto this raw platform called YFM to just do their thing. And she actually had a different name. She went by the alias of Posh. Because think about it, Jill. Like, she's talking shit about famous people every day. Like, surely you want to conceal your identity. That's why Shwashri's identity has been concealed for years. So that was the play. But she was so brilliant. I was happy to see that after her time at YFM, she was able to get into news broadcasting and she became a newscaster.
She was brilliant as a newscaster. And I always thought of Pearl because she used to laugh at everything that you said. You guys just had this kind of telepathy, and she was one of my favorite people on your show that made you relax. She put you in a good mood. It really does make sense that working with somebody that brings that out in you, but has there been anyone who's done the opposite?
I mean, there have been people that I've given opportunities to, and it didn't quite come off as I thought, right? And that happens. It happens. And sometimes you sit back and say, well, at best, I gave somebody a shot. What I've learned and what I've had to learn is that giving somebody an opportunity doesn't mean you necessarily have to stay in their life forever and ever. Amen. Sometimes give Jill a shot and then walk away. We still cool. We get along. You can call me if you need advice, but that's it. Because beyond the opportunity, there's dynamics, there's personalities, there's people's personal ambitions. The desire to succeed sometimes clouds people's judgments, and they end up doing things that are tantamount to, I don't know, backstabbing or, being dishonest to you in a relationship where you thought there was honesty and all of that. So I've had a bit of both, but I think the positive, and I'll go back to Pearl, is that even when we were not working together, there was always, a buzz and a connection to keep each other informed on where we are in our careers. I mean, at some stage, Jill, Pearl Shongwe used to manage my bookings. She used to work in my office. We had an office in Newtown, and she would like manage my bookings, because for me, I was like, okay, great, you've got this gig on YFM and you like this voice, but let's get you to make more money. Come work for me. You know what I'm saying? So the relationship was deeply personal. The investment in someone to want to see them grow. So, like I'm saying, working with her as a radio host has been an absolute pleasure. I mean, she's like in a very short list of people that I would put as amongst the best people that I've ever worked with on radio, even at Metro. In the time that we worked together on the different radio shows, I would so much as walk through the door in the morning when we were doing breakfast or the afternoon show before we moved, and she would just start laughing at me because she was exactly like that. She had an interest in me as an individual. And there were things that she found, odd, hilarious, but also great about me. And that bode well for a radio show, to the extent where, her laugh just kind of made the whole country laugh. It was like a staple. It was like Pearl's laugh is like, everybody had an opinion about Pearl's laugh. I remember DJ Cleo WhatsApping me saying, hey, Morena, man, I don't understand that girl's laugh. I'm like, guy, stick around. You're going to love it. Because she had that kind of ability, but she was also extremely intelligent. She was knowledgeable. She was eager. And like you said, if Pearl was laughing in the room, that's all I needed. I mean, I remember the dynamic. It was me, Pearl Shongwe, Owen Honey. Owen didn't have to laugh, and I was okay with that, because that's his sort of personality. But if Pearl is on the floor, like my job is done. If Pearl is on the floor, the listener's on the floor. And I think when we craft radio shows and radio teams, this is a very important thing. It's not just about bringing somebody on or forcing co-hosts down people's throats or forcing people to work together. It's about saying, how do you bring the best out of someone? How do you bring the best out of the people in your team? I mean, I'm doing 9 to 12 and 947, and a week does not go by without me thinking about, A, like, would Pearl find that funny? Or B, flip, man, actually, I would love to work with Pearl on this damn show. Because sometimes I'm like, hey, this is the kind of stuff that she would have like tons of stuff to say or laugh about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's such a huge void at a professional level that she's left in me, to have that kind of relationship, like a proper broadcast relationship, right?
Yeah.
That leaves a void in their absence. I don't know if there are radio personalities that feel the way I do, but she was just unbelievable. Yards ahead, right? Like right up there with Teko Musito, like I said, in terms of people that I have thoroughly enjoyed working with, that have brought out the best in me. And I know that I brought out the best in her because that was my purpose.